Welcome everyone to another chess video, and yes, I know what you're thinking. It's been a very long time since he's promised to put out this video, and that is true. I haven't put out the finale to our middle game series for a very long time, but here it is. We will be talking about skewers. Skewers are the final strategy set from pins, forks, and skewers, which I said I would do in the Chess Middlegames series. We also have videos on good and bad pawn structure in this series, so go check those out because they will definitely help you in your middle game when you are playing some chess. So here we are with a position. Let's dive right to it. Got my favorite hot sauce here. Don't know I had to share that with you. So yeah, let's just begin. So we are going to begin with a position that looks like this, and we're going to learn about skewers, and then you're going to use it for your games. You're going to win more games. You're going to be very happy, and you're going to move on with life. Okay, so let's look at this position. Let's learn about skewers. Come back at the end. Talk about it. We have 4 examples here. Let's just begin. I don't have very much thing to say. I'm trying to plan another date with Hugh so we can do more chess game tutorials. Those are always fun. And do that as a little recompense. Since, yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on lately. First of all, this computer that I record these videos with has been shared throughout the whole family because the other one was busted and the other one's my dad. So anyways, long story. One of them's busted. So this computer my mom has to use for work and a bunch of stuff like that. Anyways, let's begin. Enough of my family life. Let's just start. Okay, so what is a skewer? A skewer is a position where it's kind of, if you watch the forks video, hope you did, and the pins video, it's kind of the opposite of a pin. Here the best move for blue. Here the best move for white is one of these 2 moves: queen to a2 check or queen to b3 check. Now, why? To just a common person who very well has not played chess would imagine, oh, this is just a check, if they know anything about chess. This is a check, and it's just a check. I don't know how it can win this position. The material's equal, right? But you have to look for this in your games, and this is what is called a skewer. Now, if you remember what a pin is where there is a piece of great value and a piece of lesser value. We're going to assume that green square represents a piece of lesser value, and there's a piece that can attack throughout that whole diagonal rank file. So for example, this queen here, if we have our minor piece there and our piece of greater importance, let's make that different color, a piece of greater importance, and we have a piece that can attack both of them on a diagonal, on a rank, on a file. Okay, on a rank. Sorry, I have a bit of a cold right now, so please forgive me for anything. Okay, so we have this, right? So this is the green square is our piece of lesser importance, and the red square, the orange square here is a piece of greater importance. That is a pin, right? You have pinned the piece of lesser importance to the piece of greater importance, because if this piece here were to move, if this piece here were to move, then what would happen is the piece of greater importance, this one right here, would be taken. Sorry, I should have given you an example about that, but basically, when there's a piece of less importance, a piece of greater importance, and a piece that can attack both of them. So when the piece of lesser importance moves, the piece of greater importance is left and will be captured. Not if it's a king. You guys obviously know that. Okay, so a skewer is pretty much the opposite of that. So a skewer is, for example, after this check, queen a2, we're attacking the king, the piece of greater importance, and behind that, we're attacking the queen, the piece of lesser importance, because king is worth the whole game. So now, after this move, the king has to move, right? The king has to get out of the way. It's check. This is forced. There's no other move. The king has to move to one of these squares over here. Well, can't move here, but you know what I mean. The king has to move to one of those squares. And that would expose the attack from the queen to the other queen, which would be takes. And then, if you've watched my mating with a queen video, you know how to quickly checkmate with the queen. Okay, so that's the first example. That is a skewer, where you're attacking a piece of greater importance, and behind that there's a piece of lesser importance, which you'll be able to capture. Right. So here's the piece with greater importance, has to move because it has greater importance, and then you take the piece with lesser importance at the back. Now, with a pin, the piece of lesser importance couldn't move, because if it did move, the piece of greater importance would be captured. Now, to save the piece of greater importance, you got to move it. You gotta move the piece of great importance. In the other one, you had to keep it protected with the minor piece. Now you have to move it, and you get the minor piece, right? And you just snag the minor piece. So, I know that first example seems a bit confusing. Let's move through the examples so you guys get to understand it a bit better. All right. In this position, we have another possible skewer. So, a skewer, once again, try to find it. All right. If you found the move bishop to c4, you're correct. Bishop to c4 check is the top engine move, because anything else about that would be losing and just be 0-0. This is the only move you have. Bishop to c4 check. Why? Why is this the best move? Well, it is the best move because it's a check, right? It's a check. We're also down material here. Actually, no, we're technically tied. But it's a check. It's a check on the king. And the king here is the piece of greater importance. And behind it is a piece of lesser importance. So, if we attack the piece of greater importance, if you follow that attack of the bishop when the king moves, you get the piece of lesser importance, right? So, that again, once again, is a skewer. We are putting the king in check. This could be a queen, as far as I know, as long as that bishop is defended, okay? But it's just here for simplicity. We have a king, okay? So the king is put into check. The king has to move because it's the piece of greater importance, and it's the king, right? So you have to move it. You have to. This is the best move to take the rook, obviously, and now you get that piece of minor importance when you attack the piece of greater importance, right? Again, if it were a pin, the rook would be here, right? The rook would be in this box right here, because we would move the bishop now to c4. That would be a pin, because you're pinning the rook, and now the rook can't move because the king would be behind it, right? That would be a pin. I highly recommend that you look up that video, the pins video. Very good video for you to watch it, because you'll learn more. Okay, that would be a pin. Here it's a skewer because you got to move the king, and now you get what is behind it. All right, 2 more examples, a bit more complex. Try to identify the pin. Do you have it identified? Good. Good. What's the pin? The pin is already on the board. That was a trick question. Try to find the move. It's already there. There's no move. This is already there. So, what is black going to do? Black is going to obviously take the queen, right? I should have told you it's black to move. Yes, the pin is already there. Okay, folks. The last move was something probably like bishop to g5, which is a skewer. Once again, now let me explain to you why is it a skewer. One more time, 2 more times. I'll explain to you one more time after this. It is a skewer because we have our queen and our rook. What is the piece of greater importance? It's the queen. Queen has greater importance. So once the queen moves, then what? Then you get to take the rook. You get to take the rook because the rook is the one of lesser importance behind the queen. Now this time it's not a king, so this technically doesn't have to move, not under the rules of chess, but it would be better to save it, right? Because then you would be sacrificing the rook, but you wouldn't lose the queen, right? So that is a skewer. Piece of greater importance, lesser importance, and there's the bishop skewering the queen to the rook. So once the queen moves, the bishop gets to take the rook, and that's a skewer. All right, obviously best move, because I don't know why white didn't respond here once this move happened. So it's black's move again, and this is okay, just a random position. All right, last position. Try to identify the skewer. There may be more than one. All right, identify it. All right, do you have it identified? Wonderful, blissful, and unimaginable. Well, the truth is, the skewer can be found here. Another skewer can be found here. All right, 2 skewers. Now, this it could be argued that this is a pin, because this is not greater than this. They're the same, right? So if white were to play the move bishop to c6, the eval bar would go down a bit, obviously, because that's not the best move. Here, personally, at my level, I would have played the move rook d1. Now the engine's still loading. I'll tell you what it says in a second. So let's look at the bishop. The bishop can go here. The rook can go here. Either rook can go here. Let's look at both positions. So here we have first the bishop. Okay, so the engine is saying bishop to c6 is the best move, and then rook a d1 and bishop e3 here. Okay, best moves. Okay, so first let's look at this move. This move could be a pin, could be a skewer, because these two are both the same value. Once the rook moves, then we get to snag the other rook, right? So it could be a skewer, could be a pin. It's the same idea. Once the frontmost piece moves, you get the other piece. Now these two are the same, so you could call it a pin, you could call it a skewer, call it whatever you want. It's the tactic that you're trying to learn to play good chess. Okay, so this, on the other hand, this is a skewer, because we're attacking a piece of greater importance, and there's a piece of lesser importance behind it, right? So once a piece of greater importance moves away, we get to take the piece of lesser importance, right? The rook. Now that's, in this case, a trade, but sorry, these aren't flawless positions. I'm just trying to explain to you what I mean by a skewer. So, right, you guys understand. You attack the piece of greater importance with a piece of lesser importance behind that, in order to get the piece of lesser importance once the piece of greater importance moves. Okay, I know that's a lot of importance, but throughout the whole video, but I hope you guys understood that. Okay, that is a skewer. A skewer when a piece attacks two different pieces on the same rank, diagonal, or file. And now a knight, let's finish that definition. You attack it, and once the greater piece moves, you hit that less significant piece at the back, and you get to take it. That is a skewer. It's that simple. Now, a knight cannot skewer, because if you think about it, if there's a knight here, it attacks this knight's wheel here. So it doesn't attack through anything. So you can't really skewer with a knight, if you're wondering. You can skewer with a bishop, you can skewer with a queen, you can skewer with a rook. You cannot skewer with a pawn, because it doesn't attack through anything. It doesn't attack that much. Because, say this pawn was here, this queen was here, and the rook was here. The queen would move, and this pawn can't reach all the way there to take the next thing, right? So, queen, rook, bishop, those are the things that can skewer. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. Just wanted to get that video out for you guys. And yeah, I'll hope to see you guys soon with Hugh again. We'll do some more chess game tutorials. That'll be fun. We'll get back on track. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was the broad and final conclusion to our middle game series. Hoping to start a new series with you guys, thinking about it. All right, we'll see you later. Goodbye.